before contact, which is I call 1806, when Simon Fraser came through. Our highway was the Fraser River, or the Stalo, and our people traveled from village to village in canoes. This specific type was a version of a traveling and war canoe. Our people used them to ram the bigger canoes that coastal invaders used when they came into our area, and it was actually used for war.
We've kind of embarked on a new journey here at yáqtel, and part of that is we're investing in social development, in health, in culture, and these three pillars that we're kind of trying to implement for our membership is a whole initiative that we're really trying to work in a way to heal. And one of these big steps is the canoe project and implementing our own canoe program.
There's a number of things that we look at, and first of all, it has to be a red cedar. Secondly, it has to be the length of the canoe that we need, the width that we need for the widest part of the canoe. When we think of end-to-end measurement, that it's in the center that we need that dimension. So we have to take away the sapwood on both sides, and we need 30 inches of what's left on the inside. This has a fairly good clear side to it. That's the side we will use for the canoe. If the canoe is on the bottom, I'm going to roll it to its side, split the canoe, the log in two. So that the knotty side will go one way, the canoe side will come the other way. And then I will then level the good wood. I will have a clear face, and I'll draw dimensions of my canoe on there. We've got the sides cut. The basic shape is on the canoe, and I've laid out the bottom. You can see the line that's here. I'll be cutting the bottom with a power saw. Well, once we have the bottom shape, I'll be electric planing through the whole side, and we're trying to make that whole side flat. Once we have this flatness put into it, I'm going to measure 14 inches up all the way through this is the bottom, and then eventually you'll see the part we're going to cut off, and that will be the bend we call in the canoe. Once we finish that, we're going to roll it over so the bottom part is up, and then we're going to put the round on it. We can't change the shape once the bottom is done, so we'll have a good guide on how much we can dig out from the inside then. And as you can see, it's fully shaped on the outside, and we're starting the process of digging it out. And that process is done with the power saw. We cut along the sides, and then when we can, we cut across, and we cut down the middle also, and we begin chipping pieces of wood out this size. This is what we call the first layer. The first layer is usually around the depth of the power saw blade, and is because I try to keep my whole bed equal and flat. And it's a good process to use because, you know, you keep your canoe even all the way through. And then when you get to the bottom, you always know how thick your bottom is going to be, because you have to know where to stop. Okay, now we're at the stern end of the canoe, and I've taken away the rot that was here, and I've made a replacement for it at home. I'll just show you how it fits in here, and this is first fit. There has to be a better fit between this piece of wood and the main canoe. Once it's glued in, we'll be planing it off so that it's even with both sides. And then we'll cut up top here and then finish digging it out. This is one of the knots that we talked about, but this one will be drilled out, and any others you see along here, we'll drill them out. We are going to be using, it's called a round hole saw. It's a round blade attached to a huge drill, and we drill out the knot as much as we can, and we create a plug, and then we glue it in and shave it down so that it's flat with the surface of the canoe, and you can see the replacement wood, but it looks nice. This is what we use to set the depths. We put it in the hole, and you see that it comes up here, and so that's how thick we want that. And so we do that throughout the whole canoe, and that's the gauge that we use. It's currently about 1.5 to 2 inches thick in the bottom. I'll be replacing the ends, I'll be gluing them in place. And then I'm going to turn it over, completely finish the outside to wood, of course, and then turn it back over again and finish the inside. We will then set it up for fiberglassing. We need proper heat to do that. And we're going to put braces in it, put seats in it, put a head on it, varnish it, and hand it over to yáqtel bed. This is another large piece of cedar, and this is going to be an 11-person canoe. This one here is 34 inches wide, it's 10 feet longer, and it holds 5 more people. This is the main canoe that races in big canoe races. It's always single. Say if this was a seat here, a person would be sitting on this side when they're paddling here, and then when they stop paddling, they switch over to the other side and they slide their bum over at the same time. And the canoe doesn't wobble in the water, and so that's part of the practice and training that people have to go through. Unlike selecting a team, you have to be able to get the people that can work together and have the same weight, and strength is important. What we do with our new canoes when we bring them up first time in the water, we actually take them out of sight around a corner. We bring it to a creek where there's fresh water. Everybody gets out and we fill the canoe with water. We swish it from end to end. One person takes cedar boughs and wipes it down. Thanks the Creator for allowing us to take a tree to be used for one of the vessels that we need and that we use, and we commit that we will use it for its purposes, and we're thankful for allowing us to do that. Every log has its own personality. When you get logs in for canoes, you carve the canoe according to what wood you're presented with. It's a challenge of taking what you're given and turning it into something for purpose.